We're going to start with a live look outside. We still see those big clouds up in the sky, but overall, I mean, a much different story today, and it's because of those clouds that we're seeing rainfall totals, Patrick, like this. I mean, wow.
It was a very, very soggy last couple of days, and there's no wonder why some of the images that we've seen so far have unfolded the way they have. Our grounds are just not meant to take this much rain in such a short window of time. I wanted to break down a couple of more locations because I know a lot of folks wanting to know, how much rain have we picked up in our neighborhood, in our city. We've seen the big map. Here's some more of those confirmed totals. Jonesboro picking up nearly 11.5 inches of rain. Tucker just shy of 11 inches. Folks down in Hapeville picked up about 10.5 inches. And in Brookhaven, where we've seen some of those impacts of flooding, they picked up just over 10 inches. So it has just been a very soggy stretch of weather. Thankfully, that is coming to an end for us. But our neighbors to the north, to the west, to the east, they've been dealing with this system as this very large tropical depression continues to bring in that deep tropical moisture. You can see several tornado warnings to the east of the center. That is typically how this unfolds in that situation. We've been spared the tornadoes, but we did get some gusty winds, and we've gotten plenty of rainfall over the course of the last couple of days. Some spotty showers right now, very, very light in nature. I think most of us are dry, and we'll see a little bit more cloud cover for the next few hours before we start to trend clearer through the overnight. Winds are still a bit breezy, gusty, some would even say 25, 26 miles per hour gusts across parts of our area. That's going to stick around, but should gradually diminish as we head into the evening hours. I want to point your attention to our rainfall totals at Hartsville Jackson. Essentially, this updates every hour. So it looks at the last 24 hours. And in the last 24 hours, we have recorded nearly 7.25 inches of rain. So it has just been very wet, not only here in the city, but all across our region. Thankfully, we're dry through the overnight. Temperatures fall to the mid 60s. And then we have a decent stretch of weather here. A lot of dry time, spotty showers, but nothing to cancel plans over. And then as we head towards the middle of the week, we'll start to see more sunshine gradually in the forecast. Here's how we get through your Saturday, where the clouds are going to be around in the morning and maybe a stray shower possible, especially north and west of Atlanta. I think that 20% chance of rain will be best the further north you are. The rest of us will start to see breaks in the clouds and temperatures that are going to be what some would call pretty comfortable for this time of year. Starting off the morning in the mid 60s and only warming maybe 10 degrees in the afternoon, getting into the mid 70s, maybe upper 70s for some isolated locations. Sunday is going to look very similar. A little bit of moisture because that system is still rotating to the north and west. So a couple of sprinkles are possible through the afternoon hours, but I think we get enough sunshine for most of us to at least flirt with 80 degrees as we head into the afternoon. And then more sunshine, temperatures that trend a little bit warmer, but the good kind of warm. Low 80s Tuesday into Wednesday. And then temperatures trend back into the 70s as we head closer to the weekend. 20% chance of showers by Friday. Now, I wanted to update you on the tropics because we're not only tracking tropical depression Helene, but there is Hurricane Isaac out in the open Atlantic. And then as of this morning, tropical storm Joyce has developed. So the storms are coming, and we're keeping an eye on an area of low pressure that could develop in the Caribbean next week. That has about a 30% chance of becoming a depression over the next 7 days.
Thank you, Patrick.